the thing that kills me about this movie to some extent is that Grindelwald is a really, if you were doing this from a libertarian point of view, Grindelwald is a really, really interesting character. And the Grindelwald Dumbledore relationship is a really interesting relationship because in the books, basically Dumbledore and Grindelwald are young men who are, I mean, they're like Trotskyites. They're like guys who believe really strongly that like they've come up with the secret to managing the future of the world, and if only they had all the power and they could do whatever they wanted to do, they could solve all the problems in the world. And what Dumbledore realizes over time, especially with the interactions between Grindelwald and his family and all that kind of stuff, is that like that leads down this road of authoritarianism and power, and he ends up, you know, big spoiler here, but sort of accidentally maybe killing his sister or being part of the fight that ultimately resulted in his sister dying. And so that really breaks him of this idea. He was like, oh, I'm going down this path that has made me a bad person, and I want to pull away from that. And I want to talk about that too when we get to the like talking about the end of this movie, because the end of this movie actually enraged me. But the rest of it is like this idea of these essentially 19th century, early 20th century progressives thinking that they can rebuild the world however they want, and then one of them going on and becoming essentially an ethno-nationalist socialist, like a very Hitlerian sort of figure. And then the other one going, whoa, that wasn't exactly what I meant. And then spending the rest of his life sort of feeling bad about his role in all of that. And that's how it's painted in the Harry Potter books, which I always thought was one of the more interesting things once you actually start getting into Dumbledore's backstory. And that would have been cool to me in this movie, but it's like literally not what happens.
And as far as like character arcs are concerned, I am a big fan of the whole friends to enemies and lovers to enemies arcs. Like those are really fascinating. They can be really, really compelling, but we got dropped in like after the end of those arcs.
Yeah, and all the drama that would have happened between Dumbledore and Grindelwald happens like before the movie starts.
Yeah, there were tonal promises and thematic promises made at the beginning of this movie and at the beginning of this entire Fantastic Beasts franchise that just do not get paid off.
Yeah.
We see zero progress, we get zero payoff, and it's just this, I don't trust these movies anymore.